Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel, Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. Hopefully you are here because you have a love of cross stitch, just like I do. And if you're returning, then still welcome. You are clearly here because you have a love of cross stitch, just like I do. Today is Saturday. It is January 3rd, 2026. So happy new year everybody. This is my first floss tube of 2026. If you saw, my dog Squatch was hanging out up here. She likes to sit down right next to me while I film, but it makes it difficult to show all the things. So I tried to put her favorite blanket behind me, hoping she would lay on that. We may see her here or there, we'll see. So I have all kinds of things today. I've got some FFOs. Okay, I have one FFO, but that's better than no FFOs. So I have an FFO, I have some finishes, my whips, tiny little bit of haul, the huge. So we'll get right to it. All right, a couple things. One, I have a fancy notebook. Okay, it's not that fancy, it's literally a plain notebook, but it says notes and plans, which I have plans for Flosstube in 2026. And I have notes about it. So we are going to start there. So I filmed over the last few weeks, couple weeks, I did a whip parade. So my first ever full whip parade. I have way more projects than I thought I had. So if you like whip parades or want to check that out, it's like 2 videos ago, so you can see that in my channel. But I did have a few people who left some comments on the whip parade, so thank you for that. And then I had a couple comments I wanted to highlight from my last video. So in my last video, I showed an amazing Save the Stitches, which I will be hanging up later today. But it's an amazing Teresa Wentzler piece. It's gorgeous, but it did have a big circle, kind of like a stain, right dead center of the piece. What caused it, I have no idea, but was resounding votes to just leave it because it might mess it up if I try to mess with it. I'm definitely not going to touch it. And I did check in with one framer who said the same thing. If they could take it apart, I'd have to get it professionally cleaned, and then it would have to be reframed, which it's a huge piece and that's way expensive. So I'm just going to leave it. Clearly that piece has a story to tell. The circle is part of it. I've decided to name the piece or the stitcher Dot. I thought the circle, dot, dot. It's a super inappropriate song. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't Google it. But so the stitcher is named Dot, and I'm just gonna go with it. So if you had a comment on that, I thank you. Thank you for giving some advice. But yeah, overwhelming. Everyone said, do not mess with it. It's beautiful. Let it go. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. Other things that I had for comments in my notes and plans book. So Norma Jean, hi Norma. Norma Jean is a frequent commenter on my videos, and she watched my whip parade and she had a really, really great idea. So in my whip parade, I talked about my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow and how I really want to see some more progress on that piece. And I do have that on my Whip Go board, I think. I have it throughout the year, but I'm literally still on the first block, and I've done like this much of the first block. Story of my life, if you watch the whip parade, it's like this much done. So I want more progress on that piece. So Norma Jean had an idea to stitch on that piece on the 24th or 25th of every month as like, 25th of Christmas, that type of thing. I love that idea. So Norma Jean, thank you. I am going to do that. So I have pulled it back out. It's in my stitchy card over here, but I will be working on that on the 25th of each month, just for a couple of hours, but it's better than nothing. And I'm gonna do that alongside wherever it falls within my Whip Go and other plans. So great idea. Definitely going to do that starting in January. So thank you. The other thing, so I talked about bottled water. Apparently people like the Fiji if you're gonna choose a bottled water. So that was the winner. Sounds good, works for me. And then I did talk about the Teresa Wentzler piece. Again, everyone resounding, don't touch it. So yeah, thank you for that. And I had quite a few people make some comments that found my page through Whip Warriors. So Whip Warriors is a group on Facebook that I recently joined because I am doing their year-long stitch event, and along with the magazine monthly challenge, that's going to be my main focus group. So anyone on here from Whip Warriors, hello, nice to meet you, and look forward to stitching together throughout 2026. Okay, I'll talk about Flosstubers that I've been watching later in the video. Hopefully I don't forget, but I want to get to showing the stitches because we're 5 minutes in already. So, all right. Okay, front of the bucket over here. I'm kind of sideways so I can more easily show this stuff. So every year I take all of my orts and I combine them into just like one of these little baubles. So 2025, it's not my most full bauble, but I'll take it. So this is 2025. I did find, I have a sticker that I need to dig out so I can put 2025 here on the end, and then this will get put away with the rest of my baubles in the garage with the Christmas stuff. But I wait until the very last day of the year to do it, which kind of defeats the purpose because I don't have it out for Christmas, but I want to get every ounce of floss that I can into this thing. So I already have my new container started, but this is as far as I got last year. So that is that. And then I have an FFO. So, Dirty Annie. Okay, I already gave away the chart, so I didn't have all of the information to reference, but this is a finish of a piece that I stitched last year for my husband. So I had gone on a retreat. Get my dog up here, come on. So I went on a retreat last year, and on the retreat, I was showing pictures to my husband of different charts for sale and all that kind of thing, as we do. Well, I showed him this chart from Dirty Annie, and it's I Love My Cat, and my husband is not the biggest cat fan. He's team dog, which is fine, but he's like team dog, not team cat. So when I showed him this chart, he cracked up laughing, and he said, you have to buy that one and stitch it. So I did. I bought it, I stitched it, and I finally got to framing it. This is I Love My Cat. Got super glare, there we go, a little better. I Love My Cat by Dirty Annie. This is just a basic frame that I got, I don't know, at some point from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, you name it. It was probably on sale at some point, and I like the color, and it's just been sitting in my stash. So that is I Love My Cat. I am actually really proud of this framing job because I've been trying to practice my finishing, my FFO skills, right? So I've been trying to work on framing and all the different things, but this one, so I can get the glare away, I actually centered pretty darn good. So I was really proud of that. And I laced the back of the piece. So I've only laced one other piece, and when I did it, it was a disaster because by the time I got done lacing it, it was all off center and I didn't know what I was doing. So I watched some more videos, and this one turned out pretty good. So this is for my husband. He's gonna take it to work. I put a little note in the back so he can read that whenever he wants to, but he's excited to bring it to work and put it on his desk just to get some laughs throughout the day. So that's the FFO. Forgot to pull my table closer. Okay, I've got a couple finishes to show next. So I finished these last week, so before the new year. I have no finishes for 2026 yet. They're coming eventually, but none yet. So this one was a finish for 2025. This is Mitten Kitten by Satsuma Street. It's an ornament. I have not FFO'd this, and to be perfectly honest, I have not FFO'd any of my ornaments. New year, new goals, right? Last time I showed this, I had the kitten just about stitched, but it did not have any eyeballs, so it was really creepy, and I was missing this bottom part of the mitten as well as all the rest of the beads. So, got the eyes done. They're very bright, as well as the bottom of the mitten, and all the rest of the beads have been taken care of. So I realized when I was done that there was these two darker colored sequins. They were likely meant for the eyes. but I don't know. I had already given it the bright blue eyes. I love them. And so I left them. And that is Mitten Kitten. Got one more finish. Also in 2025. Was it this one? Here it is. Okay, so it is a finish, but it's not it's a square finish. So this is one similar to Hawk Run Hollow, where I'm doing all of the squares from the pattern together on one piece of fabric. So this was, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you could probably guess what it was. But this is Jack's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. The block that I was working on for me was the second block, which was Douglas Fir. Go, clear zone. I'm filming in the morning, so the sun is coming directly in through my back porch. So yeah, we got the glare. But this is the block that I was working on, and last time you saw it, I had most of the block done. I had to finish the car, and then I had to finish like the red dots throughout the piece and a little bit of snow. So here's where we are. That block is finished. Put it over here. This was kind of a pain in the butt just because of where it is on the Q-snap, but it looks like this. Ta-da! Super cute. So this piece, I am going to be starting the next block here, and the next one that I have pulled to start, I'll tell you because I took it out of the package. Okay, I thought I took it out of the package. Oh, I did, okay. So block 3 is Family Fun. In theory, it'll be a quick stitch. Looks like this. Cute little tree with little people on it. I'm going sideways. There we go. So this is block 3. I have this piece. It's going to stay out for this month, so you will see it again, if not on the next video, the following one. But this piece is on my Whip Go board, and they did call that number. So that's why I kept it all out and kept it on the frame. So you will see that again here shortly. That is it for the finishes. So I've got a few whips in the bucket here. The next thing that I worked on, so let me actually get my planner here. So this is my super fun planner from My Crazy Life, Lori, 2026, 2027. I found these adorable bird tabs that are totally me at Barnes & Noble. I don't actually know how long they're gonna last. Like, by the end of the year, they're gonna be like tattered birds probably, because they don't have like plastic over them, and they're just like little tabs, right? But we're gonna try. They look cute for now. So this is my planner. It's looking like this right now. Ta-da! And I, of course, taped up my Bringo board because it is Bringo. I'll talk about Bringo here in just a moment, but that's what all that looks like. All right, so I'm looking at this just to remember, because it's only been like a week, but sometimes that's a long time in my brain. So this week, let's see, I worked on, for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. So Magazine Monthly Challenge is a Facebook group that I run with my friend Carolyn, Seasick Stitch. We do a monthly acrostic, which has a theme and then an acrostic. So our theme this month is monochrome, and our acrostic is sampler. I talked about my plans for that in my last video, so I'm just gonna really talk about things that I stitched on for that, which is the first one to show you. Perfect. All right, I stitched on a piece called Winter Blessings, which was the S and the A in my acrostic. So it's Winter Blessings by the Artsy Housewife. I used it for S because it has the word S in the word Winter Blessings, and there's a word that you actually stitch. And then it's by Artsy Housewife, so that is the A in that acrostic. I'll take this out of the bag just so you can see it better. Maybe I'll take it out of the bag. Okay, this piece is super cute. I really, really love the colors. Last time you saw this, I had worked, so I started this piece when I was on my cruise a couple weeks ago. It's on a 40 count, not sure what I was thinking there. And I stitched it the hard way because I stitched around the words. Again, don't ask me, that's just what I did. So last time you saw it, I had done this light pink color and I just had part of this block done. Since then, this piece has gotten about 4 hours worth of work. That pink kind of blends in with the background, but once I put in the bright white for the word and then I stitch around that block, I think it will pop out a little bit better. And all of it, the pink is not the outside color, so that will work well. But we are there. This received about 4 hours worth of work because it was, again, 2 letters in my acrostic. And I also used it for some of my stitching with the Ozabar stitching adventure, which is the year-long challenge that I'm part of for Whip Warriors. Too many things with the words whip in it. So I don't have any other plans to work on this one for the month of January, so I will be taking this one off the Q-snap because Q-snaps are a hot commodity right now, and so I'm going to take this one off and file it away because it won't come out for the rest of the month. Next up, not so much in order, but the next one in my box here. Next up is a piece that I am working on for WhipGo. So for WhipGo, the numbers that were called were numbers 2 and number 7. Number 2 on my board was Spring Forest Scrapbook by, well, it's by Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower. It's a collab piece that they did. I'm currently working on a piece from Lindy Stitches, so I'm going to take it out of the bag also. I will eventually have all of these on one piece of fabric, so I'll be doing all the pieces from the Blue Flower as well as all the pieces from Lindy Stitches. Go. And the block I'm working on right now is this one right here. It's the first block for me. These adorable deer. I've only stitched on this for 1 hour, even though it's going to eventually get 5 hours. I actually just picked this piece up this morning, so it's not super exciting yet, but it will be. We're gonna see a deer head emerge very soon. I am here. Oops, let's go this way. There we go. So when I first got to this piece, I had the block stitched and I had these white aspen trees. I also had this piece of an aspen tree right here, which is actually totally wrong. I'm gonna leave it because it works, but I started this piece at a cross stitch retreat. I clearly was not counting, I was talking because I just stitched way too far down on this block, but it won't affect anything else, so in true Robin fashion, I'm just going to leave it. But that is that. This piece I am stitching on Spring Forest Scrapbook on a 32 count fiber on a whim Lugana in the color silver. Oh, I'm sorry, Silver Fox. I think there's more to it than just silver, but so Silver Fox. It's a really, really pretty fabric. It's not really silvery, it's more of a blue. It pulls like a teal gray, if at least to my eye, a teal gray, but it's really, really pretty. So you'll see this one next video because it's gonna come right back out when I'm done filming. Next up, okay, this piece is what I've been working on for Baringo. So going back to the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, we do have a monthly acrostic and a monthly theme, but we also have pop-up challenges. And in the month of January, we have a yearly pop-up challenge called Bringo. So if you are not familiar with Bringo, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. You make a board, we have 25 different prompts. Each prompt, has things like stitch on the piece closest to a finish, or stitch on a piece from a designer that's new to you, yada yada. You assign pieces to each one of those prompts, and then Carolyn, Seasick Stitch, she does the pull the night before, and then you have to stitch 1 hour or 100 stitches, however you track your stitching. And then if you do that, you can mark it off your board. And we have 5 makeup days at the end of the month, but I'm trying really hard to stay up to date. It's literally the 3rd, but so far, hopefully so good. I haven't done my stitching today, but again, it's early. But I'm trying to keep current with that. So the ones that have been called so far are, I don't know the order, but numbers 21, 24, and 13. I think that was the order actually. All 3 of those, you can see I highlight them as they're called and then mark them as I go. All 3 of those are magically the same piece. Like I only have this piece on my board 3 times and it's been called all 3 times. Well, there you go. Makes that part easy. So this piece has gotten 2 hours worth of work so far. It is Quaker Posies from Just Cross Stitch magazine. The magazine version looks like this. Mine looks nothing like that. Mine looks like this. Obviously, I am not stitching mine in the same DMC or the same color floss or fabric. I will tell you what I'm stitching mine in just a moment. But last time, well, the last 2 hours I've stitched, I got this little block here in, and then I stitched down this corner here, got the rest of this border, and I'm just starting to get into this little chunk of that Quaker. So this will come out again. I have 1 hour to do for Bringo, and then I'm gonna keep it out for 1 additional hour, only because this is my Magazine Monthly Challenge theme, which was monochrome. For my theme piece, I try to do 4 hours, and I try to pull it from a magazine piece, since that was the original goal of that Facebook group. So I'm gonna keep this out 1 additional hour, and then it'll be put away for the month of January. But moving right along on this project. I hope it's not super loud in the background. They are doing construction literally right in front of my house. In our neighborhood. We are upgrading, I don't know, the HOA voted or something, but we're getting fiber, Google Fiber or something, put down. And so they're literally tearing up the road. I have like 10 construction trucks out there. They've marked up the yard and the rocks for months. And today, apparently 5 minutes before I started filming, was the day that they broke ground. So I hope it's not too loud. Anyway, all right, so I am stitching Quaker Posies on a 34 count legacy linen in the color Coconut Macaroon in DMC. I feel like I should have this memorized by now. DMC 347. I love the color combination of this red DMC with the coconut macaroon fabric. It's just super classic. Super, super classic. I'll see some progress on that one here in the near future. All right, last but not least for this past week, my New Year New Start. So for my New Year New Start, I am using it for 25/7. So 25/7 is an idea created by Melanie Watkins, the Soulful Stitcher. She has a Facebook group for this, but the idea is you stitch 25 hours a day. Oh my gosh, 25 minutes every day. So I have been trying to use that for either a new start or a piece closest to the finish. So if I don't have a new start that month, then I do the one closest to a finish. If I do have a new start, I've been really trying to use this, because otherwise, if you watch my whip parade, you will see that I will do a new start and I'll put in like 10 stitches and then that's where it sits. So I don't really want to recreate that. All right, new year, new start. This is Sweet Wing Studios' Far Better Things. It says, there are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. It's a quote by C.S. Lewis. I went to stitch this and put it up at my work. I absolutely love it. I'm stitching mine in the DMC Alternatives. I might be swapping out the colors that they call for the words and pulling a fancy floss. We'll figure that out when I get there. But I did pull the DMC Alternatives just to have those ready. I am, 2026, I put it on an actual card. Goals, there we go. All right, so this is Far Better Things. It is being stitched on a piece of 25 count Opal Lugana. Now 25 count, I discovered hurt my brain a little bit. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to stitch it over 2, over 1. It was very in between, but it is large enough to go over 2, and I did want the piece to be large enough that if I put it up on my shelf at work that people could see it without having to get right up in there. So 25 count Opal Lugana in the color Through the Stones by Stitch Me. I have only done my 2 days worth of stitching on this, so it's gotten 50 minutes. Part of that is trying to figure out where do you start. So I'm here. It's not super exciting yet, but if I continue with my 25 minutes, it will be very pretty. Go. The sun is starting to duck away because the clouds are coming. Cloudy in December, it's great. So luckily I'm just about done. Okay, that was it for my stitching, my finishes. I have just a little bit of haul. When I say a little bit, it's 2 things. But a little bit of haul, and then we'll go quickly over plans and the rest of whatever we talk about. So, haul. I went to Goodwill. My daughter loves Goodwill. So we went to Goodwill and I found, actually I didn't find this, my stepdaughter found this for me and got it because she thought it would be perfect for my cross stitching, and she was right. I haven't taken off my 99-cent sticker yet, but this is a really pretty frame. On this side maybe? Ah, there we go. A really pretty frame from Goodwill. It's just a really nice size that once I get some pieces finished, find something really cute to put in here. It's a real heavy metal, kind of antique-y, and you can't beat 99 cents. The other thing that I have for haul is, it's actually kind of funny. So I was pulling my floss for my New Year, New Start, and I realized that I did not have DMC 3861. So I went to Michael's. They did not have 3861. They had a spot for it, but they didn't have the actual floss. Now, obviously I have tons of stuff on hand, and I could have just pulled whatever color was close. I could have subbed it out, 100%. However, I noticed that they had this DMC anniversary pack, and in this pack, it's like all the 3800s. And when I look at my DMC stash, I don't really have hardly any of the 3800 group unless I've purchased it for an actual project. So for me, if it's in a project, it doesn't really count because I've got it put somewhere else. Number one, 0% chance I'm gonna know where it is because I didn't track it that way. And number two, by the time I'm done using it, it's not gonna be a full skein. And I like to have that on hand for when I need it. So I used a Michael's coupon. I got like $10 off and just picked this up. And then I pulled that piece of floss out. In fact, that's the color I was just stitching with. So I'm actually glad that I did that because it was the first color that I needed. So that was great. So I picked that up. And that's it for haul. I am not stitching from stash. Every year I say I'm gonna stitch from stash. Every year I do not stitch from stash. So I just wipe that out. However, I am picking up charts as I see them and like them. I mean, I don't go crazy, but if I see it and I like it, I'll usually just pick that up. I have way too many charts, but it is what it is. Some people buy shoes, some people buy charts. I buy charts. So I'm still picking those up, but I'm trying not to buy like needle minders or floss organizers. I need some of these things, but I am waiting until I have finishes to do those purchases. And then if I have a finish, then I'll go on Etsy and I'll make a small little fun purchase for myself. So beyond that, for the haul for me, you'll probably just see a chart here and there and little things that I find at Goodwill, to be honest. So that's it. Got my planner going. I have been marking my stitches in this part. We're only 2 days in, so not a whole lot to show there. I have also been using my Whip Warriors 2026 diary. This is what I use to track my actual challenges, just because while I love this for like my day-to-day logging, for more detail on what I'm doing, because I'm part of a lot more challenges this year, I've been using this book instead, just because most of the challenges are part of this, short of Magazine Monthly Challenge, which is very simple to track within my other planner. So I've got my Whip Go board here. I've highlighted the two. I don't have any X's yet because I haven't done them, but that's my board. And then I'm not going to go through in detail, but the only other main challenge that I've been working on so far this year is part of that year-round challenge from Whip Warriors. So for that, right now we are trying to stitch our character. You do a lot of stitches and you earn like shirts and I don't know. You earn clothing and you earn accessories. And so far I have stitched all the way up through a belt. So I've been tracking my stitches here. Katie, Jeremiah's mom on Flosstube. Hi, Katie. She is the team leader on the group that I'm on. Thank goodness she keeps us all organized, because this is about the extent of what I have there. But yeah, it's been really fun just to keep track of what it is I'm doing and getting all the stitching in. So, all right, 32 minutes in. Oh, I said I was going to talk about the Flosstubers that I have been watching besides my usual ones. So I have been trying to watch some new Flosstubers and really just make an effort. There's just so many great ones out there. So it's just so hard to, well, it's impossible to keep up. So if you are watching mine, I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, there's so many out there, which is fantastic. But the ones that I watched over this last week that really loved was Mandy Parker. So Mandy, I will link her channel below. I'm sure I've talked about her in the past, but she is fantastic. She's doing whip parades, like everyone's doing the whip parades, but she did a kit parade, and I love that. I'm sure there's more of them out there. I need to look it up, but it was really fun seeing all of the projects that she has kitted up, ready to go. I probably need to do that same thing. I have, just like I have the bin of whips under the bed, I have a bin of kitted up projects under the bed, and I way too often get sidetracked by all the shiny new charts and then kit those up and get going. And I forget about those ones that I kitted up like in 2020. So I need to dig that out. So that was really fun. If you haven't seen Mandy Parker, go give her a watch. And then I started watching Homemade on the Ridge, which new to me, but probably not new to most of you guys. Her Flosstube was mentioned through the Whip Warriors group, and I loved her last video that I saw. She talked about, she's doing Book of Days, and her idea was like mind-blowing. She is, so she has a photo printer, and she actually took pictures, like she did the 12 by 12, and she took photos of her project every hour, and she made like this beautiful scrapbook beginning of the year thing with these photos. And then she's taking pictures of what she works on and putting those in the squares on Book of Days. Mind blown. Genius. So that was really fun to see. I don't have a photo printer, maybe 2027, I don't know. I'm not quite that organized yet, but it was a really fun idea, and the projects she's working on are really nice. So those are the two highlights for me, Homemade on the Ridge and of course Mandy Parker. So if you have found my channel through Whip Warriors, or if you are new to my channel, if you leave a comment, say hello, I'd love to say hi. Let me know how you found this little corner of YouTube. And yeah, that's all I have. Other than a number of you guys mentioned my haircut on my last video. I got my haircut before I went on a cruise. This morning I'm in full bedhead mode, so whatever. But to those of you who commented that you liked it, thank you very much. I missed my short hair that I had years and years ago, and so I'm bringing it back. So that is that. But all right, happy 2026. I will either be here next weekend or the weekend after. It depends on, we'll see what next weekend holds, but I will see you soon. Happy stitching. Say hello if you are new, say hello if you are returning. I do try to respond to every single comment, and I have to fill up my notes and plans book. So thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.